Hi students, I hope all are safe in this critical condition. Stay safe in your family members also. Care about your health is very important. Today I am going to teach 10th standard ICSE biology 4th lesson. We learned already 3 lessons. The last lesson we learned learned in genetics. Today we are going to learn uh, fourth lesson, absorption by roots, the process involved. You know already what is absorption. Absorption mean the plants absorb the requirements such as water and minerals. During this absorption, some process involved inside the plant. It is an physiological events. It's not simple process, it's in physiological events. What is physiology? Physiology is defined as the branch of biology which deals with the life functions of the plants such as cell, tissue, organ system and the organism as a whole is come for here physiology. And before absorption you want to learn for here what is adsorption and absorption. Adsorption means physical process. If you touch any other dust particle, any other material, easy to adhere our hands or our body is called adsorption. Absorption means physiological process. They are given two types are called passive absorption and active absorption. Passive means without expenditure of energy, plants absorb any material, and active absorption means plants expenditure of energy, spend energy and absorb material because it's requirements of plants. That's why it will be spend energy. It's come for here absorption. Before studying absorption by roots, you want to know for here the major functions of roots. The major functions of roots. Number one is called absorb water. Number two, absorb water and minerals from the soil. Number two, help to anchor the plants firmly in the soil because the plants supposed to stand erect because of the firmity going to given. Okay, so the whole weight of plant stem and other parts, aerial parts, roots given for a very good anchor. So it helps us anchor the plants firmly in the soil. Then some secondary functions such as for storage root, mechanical support, vital function, a lot of functions going to given for here. This come for major functions of roots. Next we'll go to for here, we'll enter for our topic absorption. Absorption by roots is a major. The first points: water, mineral nutrients from the soil. Here you see the picture. We know properly. The picture we know is an outside surface. Is available enough amount of water. Is come for the soil mycellae. So this mycellae consists of a lot of water particle as well as mineral nutrients easy to absorb through the process involved, and this absorbed water and minerals just enter inside. First of all, outer epidermal come for here piliferous layer, then enter into cortex. This mass layer is called as cortex. Water enter, then enter even cortical tissue. endodermis, pericycle, then entry of an cortical xylem and phloem just absorb water and enter inside the plant cell. Then need of water. Why the plants suppose absorb water? Need of water and mineral for plants. Four important purpose. The plants absorb plenty of water. Number one is called photosynthesis. For four purpose, plants absorb enough amount of water. Number one is called photosynthesis. Do you know already photosynthesis of food? During synthesis of food material, plants require plants available. Plants depends upon some raw materials such as for here water, carbon dioxide, light energy, and chlorophyll pigments. So this water very good role for here providing for your proton H plus ion during the process of photolysis. So what is photolysis? Light break of water to form oxygen, proton and electron. So this proton H plus ion provide in all the plants requirements of the purpose of photosynthesis. That's why plants need of water during photosynthesis. Then transpiration. What is transpiration? Loss of water in the form of water vapor. So plants absorb plenty of water, but very less amount of water will be using the purpose in photosynthesis. Remaining all the waters using as an cooling effects. For cooling effects, plants or transfer out plenty of water. So in the form of water vapor. That's why requirements of water. So cooling effects, plants require enough amount of water. Then transportation. So transportation, upward movements. So movements of water from lower to higher level, plants require water through transportation. Then mechanical stiffness. We see the plant stem leaf is always to turgid nature, stiffness. So this stiffness and rigidity going to provide enough amount of water minerals because mechanical stiffness provide with the help of water. Need of mineral nutrients. What is mineral? Soil is available enough amount of minerals. Minerals are divided two types are called micronutrients and macronutrients. So both nutrients are essential for plants growth and developments, and these nutrients are required for constituents of a cell. Constituents of cell because development of cell organelle and synthesis of a compound or enzyme. So enzyme purpose and cell organelle development and development of a cell structure, cell wall, cell membranes require enough amount of energy. Example for a cell wall is made up of cellulose and cell membrane is made up of proteins and lipids. So this lipid formation, cellulose formation is a major constituent of a plant cell. Requirements of enough amount of nutrients. So elements are required in all the plants the purpose of developments. Next, characteristic of roots for absorbing water. Number one is called the surface areas of the root is enormous. If you see the picture, we know is everything will be come for here root hair, root with the root hair. So this root hair is an surface area of the root is enormous. Each rootless would show hundreds of root hairs. Of all the root hairs of these plants were to be laid end to end, they would cover the length of many kilometers. If all the root hairs going to join one by one, we can get for here so enormous and lengthy length of many kilometers we receive. That's why surface area of the root is enormous. Then only plants absorb enough amount of water. Root hair contains cell sap of a higher concentration than that of surrounding water. So root hairs are the extension of the outer cells of the root. Root hair is an extension of outer surface of the root. They also contain large vacuole fills with a sort of solution called a cell sap. So, what is cell sap? The content of a cell inside is available. Some material with water is called a cell sap, and this cell sap usually cell sap is enormous. Some salt or dissolved in it, and the cell sap therefore usually has a concentration higher than that of surrounding water. So root hair contain cell sap of a higher concentration than that of surrounding water is enormous. Third point, root hair have thin walls. Plant cell have thin walls. The plant cell have two outer layer. They are called a cell wall and cell membrane. Cell wall is an outermost layer, is an thin and permeable. So if you see for all the plant cell, a cell wall is outermost layer, normally permeable layer. What is permeable? They will allow in all that contents available in soil surface or soil mycenae, but the cell membrane is complete living layer. So this living layer, cell membrane always called as plasma membrane, unit membrane, semi-permeable membrane, and differentially permeable membranes. A lot of names given is an innermost layer and toe layer of in all the plant cell is a toe layer, is an out or innermost layer, is a very thin and semi-permeable. What is semi-permeable? They will select and allow inside the cell or absorbing material. It's not allow all the material. It's not a permeable. It's a semi-permeable. What is semi-permeable? Half permeable. Do not allow entire components presence in outside or soil mycenae. Here see the picture. We know them for his root hair, and here is a full growth of a root hair, and here is therefore two wall layer, outer cell wall and inner cell membrane. So outer cell wall is thin and permeable, it will be allow entire material. Then cell membrane do not allow everything, but they will it act as a selectively permeable, select and allow inside. So those micro and macro nutrients are available, soil solutions are available. They'll select and allow. They are called semi-permeable. Absorption and conduction of water and minerals. So plant roots are the major part responsible to absorption, and this absorbed material going to conduction conducted inside the content of water and minerals. The entire mechanism result in 5 main phenomena. Number 1 is called imbibition. This is given for picture, beaker, water and dry seize. And so this dry seize, we are when we allow a kind of a beaker, then apply some amount of water, seize sometimes over, the seize will be swells up because the process of an imbibition. See the second picture, dry seed we are shown, and few days are over, the seed will be imbibed water and start to germinate to develop into a radicle and a plumule. So what is radicle? Developing root developing part is called radicle, and shoot system developing the part is called a plumule. So this radicle plumule developed with the help of the process of an imbibition. Imbibition is a phenomenon by which the living or dead plant cell absorb water by surface attractors. Already you know a lot of examples. If you are take some dry materials such as for dry wood, dry cloth, and dry seed, dry gum, put on water, and within even good example for some dry sponge, put it in water and just can absorb few seconds over, we know for they will absorb plenty of water, just swells up. So this swelling is called imbibition. So imbibition is a phenomenon. Imbibition is a phenomenon by which the living or dead plant cell, either living or dead plant cell, absorb water. Even dry that bark tissues of plants also, if you are put on water, it will absorb plenty of water. Even dry gum and just can absorb water if you are put on water. This process called imbibition. Next process, diffusion. Diffusion is the free movements of molecules of a substance from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration when the two are in a direct contact. Here is the picture. Number one, diffusion started. First picture. Here is therefore beaker with water and small salt cubes or any other dye metal will be added with the help of a beaker. A second experiments diffusion progressing. So here diffuse start. If you add any dye or colored material, put with beaker containing water, start to diluted. The process called diffusion. Third, diffusion completed, making a homogeneous solution. Molecules of the solute are evenly distributed in the small sec when given for here the entire plain water contains the color material because of diffusion. So what is diffusion? Diffusion is the free movements of molecules of a substance from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration when the two are in a direct contact. Let us see how the definition of diffusion applies in these cases. The molecules of the dye are most crowded in and near the tablet of the dye. These molecules move away further and further in the region where they are fewer or absent, less concentrated. Then these movements, so these movements of molecules, movements continue until the molecules are uniformly distributed. So here see for here the entire plain water converted to colored water until the molecules are uniformly distributed. Stirring with a spoon or glass rod has done the process of uniform diffusion, and you get a homogeneous solution much faster. This process is called diffusion. Next we'll go to osmosis. We know already osmosis is the movements of water molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration through a semi-polar. So up to above process, imbibition and diffusion is not responsible semi-polar, but here osmosis process involve for here one membrane or called the semipolar membrane or called plasma membrane response. Here the experiments given for here osmosis. So what is osmosis? Osmosis is the movements of water molecule from their region of higher concentration to their region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So this experiment to explain with a thistle funnel experiments to demonstrate osmosis flowing their funnel containing sugar solution. So this experiment explain, take some concentrated sugar solution in a thistle funnel. So this is called a thistle funnel, and this thistle funnel will be taken enough amount of an concentrated sugar or salt solution. Cover the mouth of the thistle funnel with a cellophane paper or egg membrane or animal bladder. So this mouth of thistle funnel will be covered with the help of cellophane paper or egg membrane or animal bladder. It acts as a semi-permeable membranes. Then and tie it surely. To tie it so tightly, invert the thistle funnel in a beaker containing water. Then what will do? Just can so this thistle funnel, this setup is over, and allow them for here beaker immerse in beaker containing water and suspend it. Mark the level. First of all, note it that the first initial level is noted for here. Initial level, just mark it. Sugar solution on the stem of the thistle funnel. This is an experimental setup. Then after a few hours, just can observe these experiments. The level of sugar solution in the thistle funnel in the experimental setup will rise. So see, the level will be raised up. It's an first initial level. Then just find out some amount of water will just enter inside the thistle funnel, and the level will be raised up. So number one. Point number two, the level of water in thistle funnels is lie in the control will remain unchanged, but do not going to change it. Okay, after rising but not come down, will be just an unchanged. Point number 3, the level of water in the beaker in the experiments will drop slightly while the one in the beaker in the control will remain unchanged. So here level will be just come down, but here rise up because of osmosis process. If the water in the beaker in the experimental setup is tested is not found sweet, supposed to find out a beaker containing water if you're testing but no sugar tasty, because do not happen reverse process of osmosis, but happen for osmosis because water enter beaker to thistle funnel. That's why here make them for here sugary solution, but here not make sugar solution. Three main conclusions from this experiments. Number 1, in the experimental setup, some water of the beaker has passed through the cellophane paper to enter the thistle funnel containing the sugar solution. Number 2, sugar from the thistle funnel has not passed into the beaker. Number 3, the cellophane paper has acted selectively or differentially permeable membrane. It has allowed water molecule to pass through but not the sugar molecules. The main process of an osmosis. Sometimes they expect to ask any 5-mark question. The process of absorption of water. What are the process? Number 1 is called imbibition. Number 2 is called diffusion. Number 3 is called osmosis. So osmosis explained through by thistle funnel experiments. Very important 5-mark question. Inward and outward osmosis. So osmosis 2 type are called endosmosis, exosmosis. We see the picture, endosmosis and exosmosis. Arrows given for endo means inside. Endosmosis means endo plus osmosis. Endo means inward. Osmosis means push or thrust. Thirst is a inward diffusions of water through a semi-permeable membrane. When the surrounding solution is less concentrated, this tend to swells up the cell. So during endosmosis, uh, any dry material put on any other beaker containing water, and what happened for this dry material is able to absorb plenty of water. So water enter from lower concentration to higher concentration. The process called endosmosis. And second process called exosmosis. Exosmosis, exo means outward. So water is come out, a fresh material put on salt solution, and what happened for here? Salt solution very high concentrated, it will be absorb water from fresh materials. Come for here is the outward diffusions of water through a semi-permeable. So here cell membranes act as semi-permeable membrane when the surrounding solution is more concentrated. So surrounding areas of this exosmosis more concentrated, that's why water comes out of plant cell or any other material. This tends to cause shrinkage of the cell, but this process very good role for here plasmolysis and using for here some factories using for pickle preparation. Exosmosis or plasmolysis, shrinkage of protoplasm. So today we learn lesson number 4, absorption. Absorption by roots, the process involved. We are begins and yes, today we ended with absorption and conduction of water and mineral. They are called imbibition, diffusion, osmosis. We explained up to endosmosis osmosis. I hope all are understood today topic and learn well and take notes and go through your textbook also. Study well. Thank you.